Welcome to the Ice Age, a show where we fight to preserve the legacy of the internal combustion engine.
Let's go check out that guy that revved up. He's gonna get his ass banned. Oh shit. Oh shit. Don't spit on people's car.
Also, check this out. An NPC from GTA has escaped into the real world and is attacking Lamborghinis. Apparently, this all started because the Lamborghini driver revved at a Cars and Coffee, which is against the show's rules, I guess. Revving at meets when it isn't allowed is disrespectful to the hosts and the owners of the properties that the events are held at, and it can potentially ruin it for everybody else. But spazzing out and acting like a man-child is just as dumb. Just report the dude, and if they don't want to follow the rules, just ban them. They have a Lambo. They have other places they can go. And moving on, talking about another YouTuber who's not, I would say, an automotive YouTuber. He's a Star Wars YouTuber who bought a top-of-the-line Lamborghini. Star Wars Theory himself has recently taken delivery. The car arrived and he's seen it in person and sat in it. Star Wars Theory had just taken delivery of his Lamborghini Aventador Ultimate, the 780-4, the final iteration of the Aventador. Super limited production. I think there's only 250 made? Yeah, one of 250 coupes, coupes. There's gonna be some roadsters, but he wanted a coupe. He spec'd it out, lots of carbon on the inside. The color he went with was described as piano black, the blackest of blacks. And yet, it didn't cost him anything because it was one of the standard basic option colors. But he liked it so much that he was cool with that. He goes in the car, he looks at everything, and he talks about how surreal it is to be in his dream car, a flagship, final edition, limited production Lamborghini with the big V12. Kudos to him. Obviously, his work ethic is also exemplary, and it shows because of what he's able to do to reward himself for all his hard work. I think he's had a Huracan before, which he leased. This car he just owns. This is his car, and it's a nice one, the Ultimate. I don't know how much of the Ultimate we're actually going to see on YouTube, considering the limited production, and because it doesn't have necessarily the flair of the SVJ with the wing and all that good stuff, and it's been around for a little longer. So it's interesting because the Ultimate has the same exhaust as the SVJ, but it doesn't have that weird hoop-like wing as the SVJ. I'm not a huge fan of the SVJ wing, bite me. I'm not also a huge fan of the front bumper unless if your car is black, because it looks like it has a mustache. Up next, we've got Amelia Hartford in the spotlight, and she definitely deserves it. She is remarkable because of her Mustang build. She has a 2017 S550 Mustang GT, and her Mustang is set to produce at some point over 2,000 horsepower, all thanks to a monstrous 9.8 liter supercharged big block V8. Holy shit! And it sounds orgasmically good. And I like the S550 too, but that kind of scares me. Scares the shit out of me.
Scares the shit out of me.
If I were to have an S550 and do some kind of crazy cool swap, I'd probably put like a 5.8 Trinity out of the old GT500, or do a Predator 5.2. That big block is pretty intimidating, but I really look forward to seeing her complete that build over time because her C8 obviously is legendary, and this Mustang could be just as cool. And she calls the car Trader because she's primarily a Chevy girl, but she's
come out with this monster of a build. So best of both worlds if you like Fords more than Chevy, and she's very knowledgeable and practical.